Carrying yourself with posture that speaks confidence before you say a single word is one of those subtle yet powerful habits that instantly elevates how a woman is perceived. The body tells a story long before the mouth ever opens, and when you stand tall, hold your shoulders back and let your presence fill the space, it communicates a silent kind of assurance that no words can rival. Many women underestimate how posture changes the energy in the room, but those who pay attention to it understand that it's not only about physical alignment, it's about sending a message of dignity, grace, and self-respect. The way you carry yourself shows how you view yourself, and others pick up on that energy in an instant without even realizing it. Posture is not something you achieve only when people are watching. It's a daily practice that becomes part of your natural state. Sitting with intention, standing with balance, and moving as though you belong wherever you are creates an effortless kind of elegance. It is not about perfection or stiffness, it's about a quiet awareness of your body. When a woman walks into a room with her chin slightly lifted, shoulders relaxed but pulled back, and her steps steady, people notice. They may not know why she seems different, but they feel it. She seems self-assured, unbothered, and present. That sense of composure creates the foundation for elegance because it begins before a word is spoken, before an outfit is noticed, before an accessory is admired. There is also a deeper layer to posture. It affects how you feel about yourself on the inside. A woman who slouches communicates fatigue, insecurity, or disinterest, even if she doesn't intend to. But when she corrects her stance, elongates her spine, and takes up her rightful space, she often feels more awake, more confident, and more prepared. Posture has a direct connection to mindset, and that is why it becomes more than a physical adjustment. It becomes a mental reset. By practicing good posture every day, especially in moments of doubt or discomfort, a woman can ground herself and return to the poise she wants to embody. It is not about pretending to be confident. It is about positioning yourself in a way that allows confidence to naturally rise to the surface. Elegance is not always about being the loudest or the most visible, but posture makes a woman visible in the most graceful way. It demands respect without asking for it. It allows her to be noticed without forcing attention. And in older age, posture tells another story. It shows vitality, care, and presence. It shows that she values her body enough to treat it with dignity. Even in small daily actions like walking through the grocery store, greeting someone at the door, or sitting down at a dinner table, posture is communicating. The woman who carries herself upright and steady sends the message that she honors herself, and that creates an impression that lingers in the minds of others. Every moment becomes an opportunity to practice this small habit. Rising from a chair with grace, entering a room without rushing, or simply standing in line with composure are all moments where posture plays its role. Over time, this builds a reputation of elegance that does not need to be explained or justified. People can sense it before they even interact with her, and that is the beauty of carrying yourself with posture. It's silent, but it speaks louder than anything else. Choosing simplicity in clothes and accessories so your presence shines louder than the outfit is one of the most underrated but impactful habits that creates effortless elegance. Many women fall into the trap of thinking elegance is about having more, adding layers, or following every new trend. But the truth is the opposite. Elegance often lives in restraint, in knowing what not to wear, and in allowing your natural beauty and presence to lead the way instead of being buried under distractions. Simplicity is powerful because it lets the woman be the focus rather than the fabric, the jewelry, or the makeup. When someone looks at you and remembers your smile, your expression, and your energy instead of only recalling a busy outfit, that is a sign that you've chosen simplicity well. Simplicity in clothing does not mean boring, plain, or lifeless. It means selecting pieces that are timeless, clean, and structured in a way that supports who you are rather than trying to mask or overwhelm it. A simple blouse with a flattering fit, a dress that moves with your body, or a pair of trousers in a neutral shade can often say more than an elaborate ensemble. Elegance does not shout, it whispers. It whispers through a well-chosen silhouette, through quality fabrics that fall naturally, and through the confidence of a woman who doesn't feel the need to compete with her own outfit for attention. This habit of editing, of removing the unnecessary and keeping only what feels right, becomes second nature over time and creates that effortless quality people admire. Accessories play just as important a role in this simplicity. Many times it's the jewelry, scarves, or handbags that tip the scale from elegant to overwhelming. The older woman who embraces simplicity understands that one well-chosen accessory can say far more than a handful of competing ones. A delicate necklace, a single bracelet, or a pair of earrings chosen with intention can complete a look without drowning it. This doesn't mean avoiding expression or personality, it means refining it. Instead of trying to wear everything at once, it's about choosing the one or two details that enhance rather than distract. Elegance is not about proving how much you own, it's about showing you know how to choose. Another layer of simplicity lies in color. Neutral tones, soft shades, and classic combinations have always had a way of appearing timeless and graceful. They allow the woman's features, her skin, and her expression to stand at the forefront. Bright colors or patterns have their place, but when every choice competes for attention, the overall presence becomes cluttered. Simplicity in color choices brings harmony, and harmony is what the eye finds beautiful. This habit of leaning toward balance rather than excess naturally communicates a steadiness and maturity that feels elegant without effort. There is also a deeper meaning behind the choice of simplicity. It signals confidence. When a woman feels secure in herself, she doesn't need to layer on more to feel validated. She doesn't hide behind overly busy designs or try to impress with extravagance. Instead, she allows the quiet strength of who she is to shine. People notice this even if they can't put their finger on it. They feel her presence more clearly because it isn't competing with what she wears. It's the habit of saying less but saying it with purpose, in clothing, in accessories, and in the way she presents herself. The choice of simplicity is really the choice to let her true self be seen. This small but intentional approach accumulates over time. Every time she steps out of her home with balance in her choices, every time she removes the unnecessary detail that doesn't serve her, she builds the image of a woman who is not only elegant, but also at ease. And that ease is exactly what makes it appear so effortless, as if she didn't even try, when in reality, she made a habit of choosing what matters most and letting go of the rest. Keeping a calm tone and measured pace when speaking, because elegance is as much in the voice as it is in appearance, is one of those habits that sets a woman apart without her even realizing it. Words carry energy, and how they are delivered often matters more than the actual content. A calm voice steadies the space around it. It draws people in rather than pushing them away. The woman who speaks with intention, who does not rush her sentences or fill silence with nervous chatter, creates an atmosphere of ease that others can feel. This is why the way she uses her voice becomes such a defining feature of elegance. Many people equate elegance only with what can be seen, but elegance is also something that is heard. A soft yet clear tone tells others that she is in control of herself, not easily rattled and not desperate for attention. This habit of measured speaking isn't about being quiet or holding back, it's about knowing that calmness has more power than volume. People listen more closely when a voice is steady because it feels trustworthy. It does not demand attention, it earns it. In conversations, whether with family, friends, or strangers, the woman who embraces this way of speaking shows respect for herself and for the people listening. The pace of speech is another crucial part of this elegance. Rushed words often communicate anxiety, impatience, or insecurity, even if that is not the intention. When someone slows down and chooses their words thoughtfully, they command attention in a way that feels graceful. Pauses become powerful. The silence between sentences gives weight to what is being said and allows others time to take it in. This is why many women who are admired for their elegance often have this same quality in their communication. They know how to let their words breathe. It's also important to see how this habit affects relationships. A calm tone creates safety in conversation. It allows others to feel comfortable, to open up, and to trust the interaction. Whether addressing a disagreement or sharing a joyful story, the woman who maintains composure in her voice leaves a lasting impression. People may not remember every word she said, but they will remember how she made them feel. That is where elegance in speech leaves its mark. This practice goes beyond just voice control. It reflects patience, self-awareness, and the ability to remain centered no matter the setting. Even in moments of stress when emotions are high, choosing to keep a calm tone separates her from the noise. It shows that she values grace over reaction, dignity over chaos. The steadiness of her voice becomes a reflection of the steadiness of her character. Over time, this habit shapes perception. People come to associate her presence with calmness, with composure, with reliability. They look forward to conversations with her because they know they will leave feeling lighter, not weighed down. This is why keeping a calm tone and a measured pace is not just a communication skill, but an expression of who she is. It is one of the most elegant choices a woman can make because it shows her strength without her ever having to raise her voice. Maintaining well-kept hands, nails, and skin may seem like a small detail, but it is one of the most consistent ways older women project elegance without having to try too hard. The truth is, people notice hands more than we often realize. Whether it is in a handshake, the way you hold a glass, or the way you gesture while speaking, your hands become a natural extension of how you present yourself. Well-cared-for hands signal attentiveness and self-respect, and that impression lingers quietly in the minds of those around you. Elegance often hides in these subtle details, the things that do not scream for attention, but still speak volumes about the person. The state of the skin tells its own story. It reflects not just beauty routines, but also the care and consistency a woman gives herself. Healthy, nourished skin shows balance and discipline, while neglect often makes itself known in ways that even the best clothes cannot cover. Keeping skin soft and cared for is not about vanity, it is about honoring the body you live in. A simple daily routine with moisturizer, gentle cleansing, and staying hydrated goes a long way in creating that effortless glow. It communicates that you are mindful of yourself, and people sense that energy when they look at you. Nails, too, carry weight in the picture of elegance. They do not have to be painted in bold colors or styled in elaborate designs to make an impact. Clean, trimmed, and neatly filed nails say far more than overdone trends ever could. Neutral tones, clear polish, or simply a natural, healthy look instantly elevate how a woman is perceived. The care placed into these small details shows thoughtfulness, and it is this thoughtfulness that creates an impression of refinement. When hands are well kept, they add to every gesture, making movement graceful and understated. The beauty of focusing on hands, nails, and skin is that it does not rely on age. A woman in her 60s, 70s, or 80s can carry the same elegance in her presence through these habits as someone much younger. It is a timeless form of self-care that signals pride without arrogance. People may not consciously comment on it, but they notice. They see the consistency and they feel the quiet message it sends, that you care about the details, that you carry yourself with dignity, and that you value presenting your best self in every moment. There is also something deeply personal about this habit. It becomes a ritual of self-respect, a daily reminder that you deserve care and attention. In a world where it is easy to prioritize everyone else, taking time for these simple acts of grooming reinforces self-worth. And when a woman values herself enough to care for the little details, others are naturally inspired to treat her with that same level of respect. That is how something as simple as well-kept hands, nails, and skin becomes a symbol of elegance. It begins as personal care and ends as a powerful, unspoken statement. Moving with intention, whether it is sitting, standing, or walking, is a habit that transforms ordinary actions into something graceful. Elegance is not only in how a woman looks, but also in how she moves through the world. Every gesture, every step, and every shift of posture tells a story, and when those movements are deliberate, steady, and thoughtful, they communicate calmness and self-possession. A woman who moves with intention does not rush or stumble through her day. She carries herself as though every action matters. People notice this difference even if they cannot explain it, because intention creates a presence that feels composed and dignified. Sitting with intention is often overlooked, but it is one of the clearest expressions of poise. A woman who lowers herself into a chair with steadiness, who sits with her shoulders relaxed and her body aligned, instantly creates an impression of grace. There is nothing forced about it, but the control is there. Slumping, fidgeting, or collapsing into a seat can take away from the elegance of a moment, while sitting with awareness elevates it. Even in casual settings, intention in this small act makes her seem more centered and confident. Standing is another moment where intention speaks volumes. The way a woman holds herself while waiting, listening, or simply being present can change how she is perceived. Standing tall without appearing rigid, keeping her weight balanced, and letting her presence settle into the space communicates patience and strength. She does not need to constantly adjust or appear restless, because stillness itself becomes a mark of elegance. In social gatherings, in everyday errands, or in simple moments at home, this habit of intentional standing creates quiet authority. Walking, perhaps the most visible of movements, is where intention becomes most obvious. A purposeful walk, not hurried yet not dragging, shows confidence and self-assurance. The rhythm of her steps communicates how she feels about herself and how she engages with the world around her. Rushing through spaces with frantic energy often gives away stress and unease, while walking with calm deliberation gives the impression of control and ease. People instinctively pay attention to the woman who walks with this kind of presence. Her movements are neither loud nor demanding, but they cannot be ignored. Moving with intention also reflects an inner steadiness. It is not just about outward grace, but about the inner mindset that shapes those movements. A woman who is comfortable with herself, who values her space and her time, naturally slows down and allows her movements to match that self-respect. She does not waste energy on rushing unnecessarily, and she does not shrink into hesitation. Instead, she communicates through her movements that she is exactly where she is meant to be. That quiet assurance is the essence of elegance, and it can be seen in every intentional step, gesture, and action she takes. Practicing kindness and grace in interactions is the kind of habit that leaves a lasting mark far deeper than appearance ever could. Elegance is not only something seen from the outside, it is something felt in the way a woman treats others. The tone she chooses, the patience she shows, and the respect she offers become part of the memory people carry of her. A kind word, a gentle response, or even a calm silence in moments of conflict all reveal a character that values dignity over reaction. This kind of grace does not need to be announced. It is simply lived, and that quiet consistency is what makes it powerful.